We've been seeing a lot of comparisons between Aries and Ecstasy over the years, man. And I think they're just unfair. And I'll explain to you why those comparisons are just extremely unfair. Ecstasy was signed to Mabala Noise, and we all saw that Mabala Noise flooded a whole lot of fucking money into Ecstasy's career. It was visible. And Mabala Noise was owned by an ANC politician. You know what that means. So technically, the assumption and the word on the street was that Nasty C was basically a laundromat. Nasty C was basically a washing line. He inale o modemane, you know, this is sepa. Okay, again. So Nasty C ended up having to leave Mabala Noise. There was a whole lot of drama. It was bound to fail either way. And Free World was suing them, and it was like, oh man, you owe us like 4.5 million. I don't know why Nasty is making bookings without us making money from those bookings. What the fuck is going on? And yeah, basically all that shit was thrown in the dustbin, sort of. Maybe it's still going on. You know how the law works. But it looked like Universal bought Nasty out of his contract. Now, we all keep hearing about Universal Music, right? Universal, the big machine, inging. But nobody ever really talks about Nasty C's management company. Remember, Universal is not a management company, bro. Well, in Nasty C's case, they're not managing Nasty C. They are publishing. They are responsible for his publishing. So here comes Creative Africa Agency, owned by the Gale family, Yvette Gale and Colin Gale. Colin being the CEO and Yvette being part of management. They both have very, very impressive track records. Did some research on their careers, and Colin is a god, man, basically, of Africa music industry. You know, Colin has worked with the biggest labels in America. He's basically the bridge between America and Africa. Literally, bro. Like, if Coca-Cola wants to do something here from America, they're gonna talk to that nigga on some, yo man, where should we go? Who should we talk to? Who should we book for an event? Colin is the guy big companies talk to. He organized events around the FIFA World Cup for all these big artists. I can't even name them, bro. You know what happened around the FIFA World Cup. Colin also has worked with the Motsepe Foundation, man. He has ties in the Motsepe Foundation. I think he got money from the Motsepe Foundation to do events, book artists, and organize everything around the FIFA World Cup era. But most of his experience is in the United States. You know, he has worked with companies such as Warner Bros., G Unit, African Fusion, and Essence. And the Motsepe Foundation, as I've mentioned. So he's a big deal, man. He's a big deal. He's a big deal. This nigga, was the one who brought Neo to the country, with the Coke Studios. He hosted comedy festivals, Double Baskin Mouth, who, he's even has ties in the church industries, with TD Jakes and you know, even when you go on his LinkedIn profile, he talks about how he advised British Motsepe and his foundation on building brand relationships in North of America and Europe, and like I said, produce major events around the 2010 FIFA World Cup. So that's who Nasty C is dealing with, guys. A big deal. He owns Africa Creative Agency right now. But the lady we keep seeing a lot in SDC's pictures with the blonde dreads is called Yvette Gale. And She is the wife to Colin Gale. And yeah, she also has a pretty much impressive track record, man. She's basically a, a PR. She's into PR, and she's a publicist basically, and she has worked with the likes of what you call Interscope, you know, and has had to manage campaigns of publicity for both 50 Cent and Mary J. Blige. She's been publicist for MGK, Kerry Hilson, Keisha Cole, K Camp, French Montana, The Game, and many more. With Dreezy, you remember Dreezy? So let's to see. Technically, man, when you look at it, man, he's in fantastic hands. He's in the hands of God. Technically, you know, she's also worked with Columbia Records. Did the same thing, publicist for Ms. Lauryn Hill. Bow down to Ms. Lauryn Hill, please. The Fugees, Maxwell, Kenny Lattimore, Destiny's Child, Nas, Jermaine Dupri, Bow Wow. So you get the deal, man. Nasty C is part of a very, very serious company, and Africa Creative Agency, in my observation, is basically the biggest, agency in the motherfucking continent, bro. Like, so how can you compare Aries to Nasty C when Nasty C is backed up by those people, bro? Like it don't make no sense. How do you compare Nasty C's career to Aries' career? Dog, I tried to do some research on Aries' management, and there's basically nothing going on, man. This nigga, I don't think he has a manager. You know, I think the closest thing to a manager he has had was working with Thuli from Luck Communications. I'm assuming she did a couple of bookings here and there for Aries, but I don't think she's Aries' manager. I don't think she's involved in Aries' career as much as she's involved in Kabza De Smalls or DJ Maporisa or Dali Wonga's career. Because when you go to the Law Communication website, you realize that Shapu, Tuli Shapu, has worked with the Cash Times of the world. Here was who's she was Kuli Chana's personal assistant, and 2017 just when Reese were recovering or just left ambitious, she signed Reese and Benchmark. I don't know what did that mean, man. Like sign how? Like, are you still are they still signed to you? I don't know what's going on with Reese's career, man. But so I tried looking at Reese's like album credits, who owns what, what's the label that has published, or what the label owns the rights to those fucking albums and shit like that. And basically, when you go to Blood in the Water, you will find that it's owned by um their previous crew. Is it Rubber Bang or whatever? Yeah, Rubber Bang Gang Records. And then when you go to Today's Tragedy, Tomorrow's Memory, it's owned by Revenge. Now, when you go to Heaven Can Wait, it's owned by Revenge Can Wait. Like, yeah, it's just fucking confusing, man. Like, who owns Aris's things? Why does he have so many different companies for each project that he drops? It's a new company. Like, right now, he just broke up with Words, apparently. So what? He's gonna start Shoelace Records tomorrow. Yeah, that was a whack one. But you get what I'm saying, man. Like, what the fuck is going on? So, you cannot compare Aries and Nasty C's career. It's unfair, dude. That's like comparing Ronaldo's fucking career with like, somebody from Royal FM or some shit. That don't make no goddamn sense. Those are two different budgets, bro. Those are two different engines. That's a Lamborghini engine and the other is like a Datsun engine. Still good engines, both, I guess, but different speeds, my nigga. Different efforts were put into all that shit. So we can't compare the two.